Hey guys, I'm gonna talk about something pretty important. This is not gonna be so easy, but it's gonna be honest and it's going to go deep. So the first thing is that this is it's kind of like a little bit for men, this video, but it applies to everyone. It goes like this. A lot of people nowadays have a huge need for acceptance. Um, Especially the younger the crowd is, they have that, and it comes from partially the internet, comes from maybe the way they were raised from the parents, maybe they're the way they were not raised from parents. And I feel that if you are a person that is clearing itself, that is becoming better in terms of like chakras and opening yourself up to your true self by just resting in silence, you start to become aware of these things. And most people are not aware of these things, so they go through an automatic program of constant accepting, not accepting, money making, accepting, not accepting, money making, and it seems almost like a carousel that they don't even see it. And as a very heart-based person, I realize this is not doing me good because I'm actually dealing with traumatized people, basically. And then you're basically dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. And I think that what you have to do as someone who's maybe highly sensitive is you have to disconnect from the idea that you need any kind of contact. And because otherwise you fall kind of into the same trap, or you feel like, why they're not accepting me? Of course they can't accept you because they have a lack of acceptance, so they cannot give on something they don't have. And I think this is a little bit, I'm going to just put it out there, I feel it's a little bit of a disaster in this younger generation. I can feel this, like the solar plexus and the play with accepting, not accepting. And I think the only way to get out of this is by completely healing yourself in terms of clearing the lower chakras and seeing that you can be on your own without any specific activity, without any person, without basically that you don't need anything. Or like Mooji said once, he was just sitting in a room, he was in his heart energy, and he felt like he didn't need anything else. And I think this is more relevant than any time in the past because of these severe blockages that I feel. And honestly, the people don't see it. Like, they're literally not on the consciousness level. They're just playing out this accepting, not accepting, literally every minute, every day. And these social media like Instagram and TikTok, they have a lot to do with this. And I think that it's like, it's a trap. It's a massive trap. And the worst thing about these traps is they can keep you trapped for many years without you realizing. So what you have to do is you have to sit down in silence and realize what is the real problem here? Why can't I just be and be nothing? Why do I have to be something? And I think it has a lot to do with parents and school. I think there is a tremendous pressure being put on children to perform in some kind of way in order to appease some person's ego. And that needs to be completely reset. And I believe that's one of the hardest things to do. And I noticed in general that unless you're extremely good looking and you match some kind of filter that the other person puts out, which is a pure projection, you are not going to be 100% accepted by that person. And that that is not your deficit. That's the person's deficit. And they're doing it because they haven't even started to look at that thing, at that topic. And in order to immediately eject yourself from this, go in silence and really ask yourself the hardcore questions. First of all, who am I? Ramana Maharshi, the self-inquiry. Am I that, or am I that? Am I that which I observe, or am I the silence in which everything is perceived? That's the most important. And then the other things are more the individual questions, like, why can't I, what is it that the person that I seem to be, what does it really need, and why does it need it? And then again, the self-inquiry. So it's kind of like a constant probing and questioning and realizing that you're not that which you think you lack. And that's the only way to escape all this need for acceptance. This is also where jealousy comes from, enviousness comes from. It's literally the source of all this trouble. And I can see it very strong, and I can see how one can fall into the same trap very quickly if one doesn't know how to drop into or how to tune into higher awareness. Sit in stillness, be aware of what's really going on. What is the real problem? Why a lot of people are just chasing and chasing and chasing, and the question is why? And release that completely.